Good afternoon, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Jerry Baldwin as it's the Hawks against the Demons. And partner, hopefully the teams that were watching the previous game are making adjustments on defense. It's going to die on that infield grass. Got to play shell on the infield. Same thing goes for outfield. It's going to die on the outfield grass as well.
Absolutely. Beautiful day for ball. Winds are slurring just a little bit, but you're right. The ground is very wet. We had a lot of rain this week. Right field specifically is like a little swamp out there. So it will definitely play a role in the game. And you're right. Anything bunted, even on the inside of the infield, could not go very far. So it'll play a role today. The field conditions, the weather on the other side is beautiful, though. Blue sky, sunshine, upper 60s. A great day to be out here.
So it's a 1:15 first pitch, and here we go. As first pitch for the Hawks, as that swung on and missed, strike one. Pitching for the Demons is going to be Run, as he looks to get 1, 2, 3 to go to the bottom half of the inning. He's got a nice arm, partner. That nice motion, straight fastball, four seam out of the strike zone. I
had a chance to watch him warm up, and he does. He's got a real strong arm. Guessing he's coming in somewhere around 80 miles an hour. That's a good speed for this age group. And you're right, good velocity. Saw him playing some long toss before the game, and he does come in with some strong velocity. So I'm guessing he's somewhere around the 80 range.
Just a bit inside. So Silas Pollock leading off things. Reisky on deck and Triesenberg in the hole. And what makes Dyer, Babe Ruth so fun is your best athletes are generally your pitcher, catcher, and shortstop. So the pitcher batting second and the catcher batting third.
Makes total sense.
Did that hit him?
Oh, it did. Caught him on the arm.
Now the problem is, did he lean in with the arm? If he leans in over the plate, it's a strike.
Right.
If he doesn't get out of the way, it's just a ball. If he tries to get out of the way, it's a hit by a pitch.
Right. Yeah, great observation, great explanation of the rule. It appears as though he's going to get the base, though. So either he made somewhat of an effort to get out of the way, but the ump is definitely awarding him first base. So you hate to see that. You got an 0-2 count, and all of a sudden you give it away. So it's unfortunate.
High fastball. Pop time good. Throw not so much.
I like the aggressive nature there by the Hawks. They're going to send them that first pitch. They're sending them, so they're looking to send a message right off the bat here.
Two and 0.
As with any pitcher this age, I'm seeing good velocity, but a little bit of control issues. And, in any level of ball, whether it be fast pitch, softball, baseball, you want to get that first strike in there, and he's doing a pretty good job with that, but then he's got to follow through with it. Pick-off attempt there, unsuccessful, so good grab back by the runner.
Inside for a ball. Don't lose him here.
Yeah, got himself in a bit of a jam here. 3-0, runner on second. Be curious to see if he gets a green light here. With the ball being all over, I would be taking.
And that was ball 4. He swung at it anyways.
Yeah. So they're definitely going up there aggressive. A little bit of cloud cover here this afternoon. Wind was blown out to right. It seems to have shifted a little bit now, but nothing too significant. Shouldn't have a big role in any of the fly balls.
And that would be ball 4, and he eventually will go to first. Runner advances to third. It is a wild pitch and a walk. And runners at the corners, nobody dead. How do you want to play it here, Jerry? Corners in, or do you play back and hopefully you get the double play?
At this point in the game, being this early, I would sit back, look for the double play. Generally good speed out of your three-hitter, but again, if you can get that force at second, there's a lot of ball to go. So I would play at double play depth and look to turn something here.
As that's outside for a ball.
Yeah, generally your three-hitter is one of your strongest hitters, so he's going to be up there looking for something he can drive.
Yes, he did. So that'll make it a 1-1 count. Just a beautiful day for baseball. You can't ask for anything better.
It absolutely is, yeah, gorgeous. A little bit of cloud cover, but mostly blue skies and some sunshine.
Swung on and missed for strike 2. You've got August, the first baseman, on deck, and Josma, the third baseman, in the hole.
Heart of their order, 3, 4, 5. These are big batters coming up. Generally, your strongest hitters right here are in that 3, 4, 5 slot. So
you got to squeeze that one. And that's going to be a pass ball, and a run scores.
yeah, good effort, but you're right. Definitely one of those that he'd like to have back. Ball went off the top of his mitt, and maybe there was a cross up in the signals. Maybe he was expecting curveball, got a fastball. Hard to say, but in any case, it's a ball that 9 times out of 10 he's going to catch, and unfortunately he missed that one, and it cost him a run.
In there for a strike, strike 3, and first out of the inning.
That's a good pitch. He looked like Greg Maddux on that when he painted that outside corner.
Yep. Well, runner at third, 1 out. If you want to, you could bring the infield in.
You definitely could. Again, yeah, absolutely. You definitely could. Again, this early in the game, you might want to sit back and grab the out.
And you also got to remember it's the cleanup hitter. You don't want to allow a duck snort base hit to the cleanup hitter.
Absolutely.
It's a big boy, too. This looks like a Travis Hafter type of cleanup hitter.
Definitely a good-sized gentleman up there looking for something he can drive into the outfield or deeper.
I remember when the Brewers were struggling on offense and they put Yuniesky Betancourt in the cleanup spot.
That's right. That's right.
That's when you know it's not your day in terms of offense. Betancourt was a nice contact hitter, but not known for the power.
No.
Right down the middle. Well, that's your pitch, kid.
Yeah, that was the one to drive right there. That ball came right in, probably around 80 miles an hour. It gets some good velocity, but right there, and outside part of the plate, you're looking to drive that ball into the right center gap, and he just got under it a little bit.
0-2 to 8 in August. Nice four-seam fastball. Raise the ladder a little bit and force him to swing at something out of the strike zone.
Absolutely, yep. Unable to detect exactly what that was, and a very defensive swing. Was fortunate to get a piece of it and stay alive up there.
Just missed for a ball.
So good pitcher's count here. We'll see if he looks to waste another one to get him to chase outside the zone. 1-2.
Now, in the major league level, that's definitely not a strike.
Right.
In Dyer, Babe Ruth, it's a high school strike zone, meaning a baseball on all sides of the plate.
Yes.
That looked like a baseball distance.
It did. It was a good pitch. It just missed. He got the benefit of the call there.
That's definitely strike 3. Yeah.
Not that time.
And
yeah, that's
unless Angel Hernandez is behind home plate, that's always going to be strike 3.
So hard to tell, isn't it? Are you a fan of the electronic strike zone that they talk about from time to time? I know they're testing it out in the minors, but are you a fan of that at all?
If this guy gets on, we'll talk about it. Otherwise, we'll talk about it in the next half.
That sounds fantastic. It's a loaded subject.
See, the problem with it is the major problem with it, let's say a breaking ball crosses the zone,
right,
but the catcher plays back so it lands in the dirt.
Right.
The unwritten rule of baseball is the umpire can never call a strike that hits the dirt.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
But the automated strike zone will always call that a strike.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's a very debatable issue. It's you hate to see. I mean, they're humans and they err like humans. So, but you'd like to see more consistency at the umpiring behind the plate at any level.
The other issue is the players like the human element, because the law of probability says if you don't get the call that half inning, you might get it the next half inning.
That's a great point. A computer's not going to have a psychological edge like you're saying. So that is a great point.
But I also kind of like the robotic strike zone. The other problem is the robotic strike zone getting them as they're standing still or as they're bending their knees. A good umpire determines their strike zone when they stand still.
Right, right. Yeah, I think that's something that would have to be pre-configured into where they are bending their knees so that it literally draws a zone.
I don't know what he was waiting for, but he's not going to get a pitch better than that. How about that, partner? He strikes out the side, and they're all looking.
That's some good velocity like we talked about right off the bat. He came in with something hard down the middle and about knee-high, and a really nice pitch for a strike. So good. He got out of it with only 1 run, so he hopefully can settle in and build on that.
We're going to take a quick break. More baseball action coming up next here on SBS. Back to the action at beautiful Dyer Babe Ruth League. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Jerry Baldwin. If you like the action, we also have camera 2 and camera 3 going. We do apologize if there's any unforeseen Wi-Fi issues at any of the cameras, but we'll definitely work our way through them today. But a 1-0 lead for the Hawks, and they're going to have to work on that in terms of their battery teammates today with Reisky pitching and Triesenberg catching. The Demons are going to have to work on that in terms of the pass balls and the wild pitches.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that just comes down to fundamentals. You want to make the plays that you should make, and pass balls and errors they're part of the game, but you want to minimize those, and the teams that win championships are the ones that can minimize those or in some cases eliminate them. So solid defense will win, especially in a sport like this where it's largely built on defense and pitching.
We want to give a big thank you to our sponsors today. Without them, we just could not have this beautiful broadcast that we're putting on for you today. Sponsors Puntillo and Crane, as well as Rogers Roofing. American Community Bank, as that's a ground ball up the middle. He shoots the box, and no one there to get it.
It's a good base hit. Came out aggressive, ready to swing. Put a nice hit up the middle. Leadoff runner on.
Rogers Roofing, its trusted home improvement specialist serving homeowners in and around Northwest Indiana. Rogers Roofing's long track record of successful projects from roof replacement to siding, insulation, and more inspire total confidence, and customers know they can trust Rogers Roofing to provide reliable products and consistently meticulous workmanship. Coming set, and a little high inside fastball for ball 1.
Many thanks to the sponsors. You're right. This is a really great thing that we get to do as far as delivering a broadcast to, parents, grandparents, friends, family who are unable to be here on this beautiful day, but they're able to watch a professional broadcast and hopefully, certainly hear a professional broadcast with you and I, Kyle. So we're going to do our best to deliver high-end broadcasting here, and then thanks to the sponsors for being a part of that.
Jake Ganender will try to move him over on this 2-0 count. Oh, you got to wear that, kid.
Just a bit inside, huh?
I always wonder if players like Don Baylor and Craig Biggio loved getting hit because they got hit so many times. I mean, you get on base, it helps your on-base percentage.
That's a great point. You're right.
Keeps the line moving, but then there's times you get that high fastball near your funny bone or on your funny bone. Yeah. It doesn't feel so good.
No, and that was back in the day where they weren't wearing full equipment to go up to bat, like they do nowadays. So.
And they're going to throw it down to second, but this is just for pride's sake, as it's a walk.
Which I was never a fan of. It makes no sense. I always, in my coaching and when I'm teaching players is that I'm looking to see if you're 90% sure you can get that player, you throw the ball. If you can't, or if you're not that sure about getting them, no good comes from that throw. That ball goes into center field, you're giving a base away, and ultimately you're putting a runner on third base. So, I would be a little more cautious about some of the throws.
Especially if it's a walk. I mean, he's already going to first base.
Right.
He can't be out at second because the walk happened.
Right. Yeah.
Those are those high versus low baseball IQ moments.
Absolutely.
Right down the middle. Why do you think these hitters are having such trouble with that pitch right now?
Well, he's jamming them. I mean, anything on the inside part of the plate is going to be a tougher ball to hit for most hitters. Some like to turn on it and get ahead of it, but if you've got a pitch coming in on the inside part of the plate with good velocity, it's tough to get. It's tough to get good wood on.
They're struggling with that one right down the middle too.
They are.
That's what makes baseball so great. Even if it's a mistake, you still have to be a good hitter to take advantage of it.
Absolutely. It appears that the Demons are 2 players short as well. I don't know if they have players who are playing in multiple leagues.
Right, yeah, they do.
Yeah, but they do have 2 players who are short that are younger players who played in the previous game. So, that's unfortunate. You got 7 of your starters, and you're playing with 2 players who aren't normally part of the team. I'm guessing they're batting them down in the lower part of the order, so we'll see how that all plays out.
That's a pass ball, one that the catcher would love to have back.
So, again, you just don't know if that's a cross-up in the signals with regard to what the catcher was expecting or if it's just a legitimate pass ball. So, we're seeing, again, a lot of those, and we have to consider the age and the level that we're watching, these are great ball players, but, again, they're still evolving.
Didn't touch it with the glove. It's ball 4 anyways.
So it appears they held the runner at third. So now you're going to be bases loaded with nobody out, and big opportunity here for the Demons.
Yeah, it's a sort of a short backstop. You have nobody out. heart of the lineup coming up. You're at your 4-hole hitter. Sebastian Renko, the pitcher. That swung on and missed.
He had a nice swing. He was looking fastball, and he got a curveball a little bit off speed, so it ended up throwing his timing off, but he was certainly looking to drive something.
Yeah, he might need to wear a batting glove behind his glove because he's having trouble framing and catching right now.
Yeah, he's having a tough time. You're right.
I wasn't always the best catcher. I would struggle with that at times.
Oh, it's a tough spot. It's one of the toughest spots on the field, and they're asked to do a lot of tough things.
See, everything has changed, especially at the major league level where catchers are getting down to one knee to frame that pitch.
Right.
Mitch Garver does that a lot, other catchers. At this level, it's problematic because the umpires aren't as good. So when I'm umping and I see a catcher get down to one knee, he's already at a disadvantage because anything low, I'm going to call a ball all the time.
It's a good point, and there's a very questionable pitch right there. That pitch appears to have maybe just missed the outside, but boy, not by much. Here's
looks like
an errant throw from the catcher back to the pitcher. The ball went into the infield, and the runner from third will score.
Reminds me of that catcher from Major League 2.
He's having a tough day. He's going to get it together. He's a good ball player, good young man. He's going to figure it out.
We've got a little single through the middle, a walk, a pass ball, and an error. And that's where we stand right now.
So it's like we talked about earlier, shoring up these defenses and not letting too many mental errors get a part of you.
So runners at second and third. It's a tie game.
These are fundamentals, throwing the ball back to the pitcher, catching the ball behind the plate. Again, these are things you want to work on and evolve as you get into the next levels of ball.
Right up the middle, and great snag that time by the pitcher in Reisky. And holds the runners as well.
Yeah, nice play. He went up high to get that, so that's a big first out. Because if that ball gets through, it's going to be a tough throw out to first base. Only one out here in the bottom of the first, 1-0 count. This one's going to miss high, going to 2-0. Again, he's falling behind these hitters. You're looking at, again, you want to get that first strike in there as best you can, and he's starting to fall behind these hitters a little bit.
Oof. Well, that time he took one for the team.
Never comfortable, but you're certainly right.
Hey, it helps out the on-base percentage.
It's a great point. Yep, get on however you need to get on.
It's the old saying from the movie Moneyball. He walks a lot. He get on base a lot. Do I care if it's a hit or a walk? Pete, you do not.
One of the best movies of all time. Probably one of my favorite baseball movies. I think there's a lot of wisdom in there, and Brad Pitt couldn't have been better. Jonah Hill, was he the other one?
Yeah,
just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. It's I think one of my favorite scenes in there is when Brad Pitt goes in as the GM of the A's into the batting cage with Ricky Henderson. Says, "I'm not paying you $8 million. The Yankees are paying half your salary."
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Oh, won the count. Bases full of demons. Swung on and missed. And they're going to go to the plate close. And they call him out. And it was a little confusing there, Jerry, as the home plate umpire was about to go with the safe call.
He was? Okay, yeah.
And then changed his mind out.
I was wondering if I saw the same thing, but you're exactly right. Yeah, he raised his right hand and then slowly raised his left hand to go out. So very strange call there, but they did call him out.
So caught stealing, 2 unassisted.
It was an aggressive lead from third, but I do like the aggressiveness. And I see the coach talking to the player, so not sure if he sent him or if he went on his own. So that's certainly something to be aware of. But in any case, he was out, as you said.
That's why you got to have that. And I think that's the third out of the inning. So we're going to go to the top of the second. 1-1 is the score here on SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. Kyle Smith alongside Jerry Baldwin, top of the second. And so we were a little bit behind. We were trying to get the broadcast back. It was a strikeout and then a caught stealing at the plate. So that's why there were 3 outs. It was a double play, one of the weirdest ones you're ever going to see.
Absolutely.
A strikeout, drop third strike, caught stealing, 2 unassisted.
I don't know that I can't tell you the last time I saw that. So very, very strange play, but aggressive on the Hawks side. So I kind of like sending the runner from third there, but and it was close. He could have been under it, but yeah. So one of the more unusual double plays you'll ever see, but big break there for the Hawks to get out of that inning.
So the Demons are borrowing Cameron Posey, who was in our post-game show. One of the guys, unfortunately, for the Demons, his car broke down. Not too good. Interesting
insight. Yeah, no, that's you hate to see that. He'd love nothing more than to be here.
That's when you got to take an Uber, right, to get to the game?
That's a great point.
Your teammates?
Absolutely.
Well, we'll see what the starting pitcher for the Demons does in Renko. He's coming off an inning where he struck out the side, all looking.
He's got a little target there, so, that hitter's a little bit shorter in stature, so he's got a smaller target to work with, and, he's having a tough time locating the strike zone. I was hoping to see him settle in after that first inning, because you're right, he had some really nice strikeouts, and the balls that they watched go by were good pitches, but he's having a tough time finding his center here.
Swing and a miss, first strike.
That's a good pitch, good velocity. Came back with something right down the middle.
Oof.
He's got a tendency to paint that corner. He hit the outside part of the plate there. He does. He reminds me of a Greg Maddux or some of these high-level pitchers who can hit those corners really well.
In the dirt for a ball, 3-2. Don't lose him here.
This is a big pitch. The statistics on leadoff walk scoring is very, very high. So if he's got to come into the zone here with something.
Oh. Well, partner, you got to protect anything close. But that was such a pitcher's pitch.
That's a beautiful pitch. And it's amazing what you brought up earlier with regard to He's got 4 strikeouts, and they're all looking.
Yeah.
So he is really painting those corners beautifully.
Going to have to adjust. Baseball is a game of adjustments.
Absolutely. This hitter also probably standing under 5 feet, so a little bit smaller of a target. So you want to see the catcher frame these pitches really well, give this pitcher an area to throw to, give him a nice target with the glove. He's doing that, and just throw to the glove.
In the dirt for a ball. Svetlin up. They've got Navarrete on deck and Darren, who played previously in the hole. Darren's got to be tired. He caught a lot of innings in the game previous.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's like a doubleheader. Those are tough to do.
A little bit high. Batters are going to have to adjust. They're going to have to swing and force that ball to right field, and of course left field if you're a left-handed hitter. A little bit high for ball 3. Don't lose him here, but don't give him a meatball either.
The max pitch count at this level is 105 for any one pitcher. So if they throw 105, they need to be pulled from the game immediately, and then they require at least 3 days rest before they can come back and pitch again. So just some interesting statistics with regard to the rules at this level.
And those are the issues with strikeouts, right? You think about how could a pitcher like Mark Burley throw a perfect game? He wasn't striking anybody out, but the plus of that is it's less pitches he's throwing.
Right. And that all starts with, like we were talking about earlier, as far as coming in and getting that first strike on the hitter.
You know, when I was a kid, did they get him?
They called him safe, actually. It was a really close play, but they did call him safe. That was really, really close. Good throw down from the catcher. Good tag. He appears to have just beaten it out.
Because the Demons were saying we got him. Maybe they were trying to confuse the base umpire. A little gamesmanship there.
What were you saying about you when you were catching?
Yeah. So my manager would ask me, what are the least amount of pitches you want your pitcher to throw, your battle mate? Oh, 9. No. What do you mean? No, not 9 pitches. Do you know how many? No. 3. That's what you want, 3 pitches. Ground ball, fly ball, or ground ball, ground ball, ground ball. Are you going to get that all the time? Obviously not. But if you strive for 9 or more pitches, eventually you're going to wear your arm out.
I like that. That makes total sense, yeah. All the more reason to be able to locate that ball and hit the strike zone. And we're seeing some good things out of the pitcher here with regard to being able to hit these corners. He is definitely hitting the corners.
And that's going to miss for ball 4.
That's a close pitch. Maybe a little bit high and outside, but certainly really close. So
Jerry, it's a field where it dies on the grass. If you're playing on the infield and outfield, you're going to want to play a little bit more shallow.
I agree, especially with, seemingly the size of some of these hitters. I would play a little bit in, like you said, cut down some of those base hits over the infield. And until one of them shows that they can drive it over your head, you play in. So I agree.
That means anything hit to the outfield isn't necessarily infield fly because the shortstop, third base, and second baseman are all in. Ground ball to the pitcher. They're going to go for 2 for the first out. Great slide at second. They can't get the double play. And they try to get the double play, but they can't get it done.
It's a really nice play by the first baseman, though. The second baseman short hopped it into him. He was able to scoop it beautifully, and that keeps the runner at third. That ball gets past him at all. That runner scores from third. So credit to the first baseman. It was a nice scoop on a one-hopper. The second baseman had to hurry the throw, and he wasn't able to get it where he wanted to get it. So credit to the first baseman. That's a big save there to keep that runner on third.
That'll go back to the top of the order with Silas Pollock. He got hit by a pitch and then stole a base. And then he scored on a pass ball. What are we going to call that, Jerry? Stolen base or defensive indifference?
It's going to be one of those. Whichever one you like. So
I say with 2 outs, defensive indifference.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's right down the middle. Even the batter and Pollock didn't argue that one.
No, that's another good pitch right there. Again, he's able to locate that ball pretty well. Good steal, though. Does put 2 runners in scoring position.
Fly ball, and that's going to be fouled away. Just a beautiful complex. There's a lot of trees around here, so a lot of shade for the players.
Yeah, they have the enclosed dugouts here, which I like. So, some fields are a little higher level than others, and you got enclosed dugouts here, which keeps the sun off the players, keeps the wind out of the dugouts. Looks like that one missed a little bit high, but yeah, no, real beautiful field. Great time of year. We got some green foliage out here. It's like Field of Dreams. We got lights here. Beautiful park. Great to be here.
Swung on and missed for strike 3. He now has 5 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. We go to the bottom of the second, still a 1-1 tie here at SBS. Bottom of the second here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. If you like what you see, just go to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. We'll be there for your next sporting event. Just another special thank you to our sponsors. We talked about Rogers Roofing, as well as our other sponsors that we want to talk about. But American Community Bank, they've been around since 1910. Kelly Beauty, actually one of the sponsors of today's game for one of the teams. Personal Touch Technology, as that's outside for a ball. Check them out at stonepcsupport.com. Puntillo and Crane Orthodontics, go to pncsmiles.com for more information. And then for Smoothie King St. John, right across from Lake Central High School. As count evened up at 1-1. It's Dominic Sonito at the plate. Sussner on deck and Poerio in the hole. At least that's the original lineup. They might have had to change it the last second due to the kid that couldn't make it due to a car problem.
Kyle, what number is this hitter? Is this their
7-hole hitter?
7 hitter. Okay, so
both
7,
teams
8.
batting 9 hitters today.
Okay, so 7, 8, 9 here coming up for the Hawks.
Right.
Demons.
And that can be deceiving, by the way. I remember Burley's perfect game. The last hitter he threw to, the 9-hole hitter, was the All-Star in Jason Bartlett.
Yeah.
He was a 300 hitter that season for the Rays.
Well, it's funny. A lot of coaches, a lot of your better managers, they will use that 9 hitter as a double leadoff.
Yeah.
So that supports exactly what you're saying. You put a hitter, a 300 hitter in the 9 spot, all of a sudden as you're going through the course of the game, he leads off, he gets on, and now you've got your 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up. It can really be advantageous to the offense. So I like that philosophy. It's something I do with my own teams. I do like a double leadoff to be a strong on-base percentage player and some speed so you can move them around.
Can you imagine what Burley was thinking? He's already dead tired. He's done 26 up. As much as I love Burley, he's not Steven Strasburg in terms of the stuff.
No.
He's not striking out 14 hitters in a game. Then he's got to go up against a 300 hitter for the 27th batter.
That's not only a task physically, but then mentally, like you said, because at that point you're mentally tired, you're physically tired. That's impressive.
Gets the first out at second. Good job getting down, Jerry. If he had gone in standing up, that would have been runner interference.
It would have been, and even with the slide, the way he slid, he almost took out the second baseman. So it was clean, but it definitely prevented a throw over to first. So, Yeah, good aggressive base running, and you're right. That would have definitely been interference had he not slid. He just seemed to have slid a little bit late.
Yeah. Got to a point where you were wondering if he was going to slide or not.
Yeah.
You know, baseball's such a beautiful game. We talked about perfect games. And then there's guys like Justin Verlander. Bottom of the ninth inning, they're still throwing 100 and 102 miles an hour.
It's amazing, isn't it, what they can do? And
I don't know about that one, Blue. That was a little high, but calls it a strike.
So that's a pass ball, another one, and the runner does advance now from first to second.
0-1 the count to Tyson Sussner. Swung on a miss. Why do you think these hitters are missing on that ball right down the middle?
Well, it could be one of two things. Either they're expecting something other than what they're seeing, because they're getting a fastball right down the middle, like you said.
Posey will steal third. Not a great throw, and it's an E2. And partner, if you don't get a good pop time, sometimes as a catcher, just eat it and live another day.
And again, it builds on exactly what I was saying earlier. If you're not 90% sure about getting that runner, just hold the ball, because that's a worst case scenario right there. You throw the ball, you throw it errant, or in this case short, and the runner scores from third with just a gift. So, yeah, you want to be selective. I think that starts at the coaching level as far as talking to your players about when you want to throw down and when you, like you said, just eat the ball. So, yeah, unfortunate run to just give away right there. And in a one-run game, every run matters here.
Two 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that's tough on a pitcher, too, because it's a run that really shouldn't have gotten in.
Both runs that have been scored for the Demons are via an E2.
But to finish your question from earlier as far as why they're missing some of these pitches, again, they might be expecting fastball or expecting curveball, and they're getting something other than what they're expecting, and they're missing it. Yeah, the other thing, too, could be depending on where they're standing in the box. For a faster, higher velocity type pitcher, you want to move a little deeper in the box, give yourself that extra split second, and they may be standing a little bit too close to the pitcher in terms of where they're positioned in the batter's box. So a couple different reasons you could be seeing what you're seeing.
Two-out walk, as that'll bring up Lopez. He got on via a leadoff walk in the bottom of the first. That's fouled away.
You had the empty base there, so it's not the worst walk in the world, but you definitely have to focus in on this hitter now with a runner on third. So if he's able to get this hitter here, he's able to get out of this inning with one run, which unfortunately wasn't his fault. Again, good aggressive base running by the Demons. I like sending that runner down to second because you got no reason. You have no reason not to. Now you have two runners in scoring position, and they're going on contact with two outs. So anything hit, they're going to be taken off.
Outside for a ball.
Seems to be having a tough time finding the zone here. He's throwing a lot of balls.
And that adds up. The more balls, the higher the OPS goes up for the batter.
That's fouled out of play. And that's one of the things, with regard to Mark Burley that you've brought up, he had such great control. He rarely walked hitters, and, he was known for putting the ball in play. But, again, that's why you have a professional defense around you. Let them do what they're supposed to do. Throw strikes, don't give free bases away. And so, yeah, I like that. I like that comparison.
Oh, boy, you got to catch the ball.
Yeah, runner was going. I think he was probably watching the runner before he was actually watching the ball. So that's a pass ball. Runner will advance to third.
That's one of those things. That's why you always put that fist behind your back. And as you see the runner go, put the fist behind your glove so you can get that pop time quicker. I
like that. That's good catcher's perspective right there. You've played the position. That's exactly right.
And time called by the hitter. Now the umpire doesn't have to grant it. He's a really nice umpire. He asked me, can you guys go at 1? I said yes, and he obviously saw we weren't ready at 1. He waited till 1:15. Pickoff play at third. And
gets away.
Oh, boy.
Gets away. The runner will score.
It's just an ill-advised pickoff play. You've got 2 strikes on the batter with 2 outs. I don't understand that.
I don't either. Again, we're dealing with players a little bit younger in age, and again, good players, but players who are still gaining experience.
Right. But that's a killer run because now it's 3-1, and now the rally continues with the walk.
Right. Yeah, you got you have 2 strikes on the hitter. Just focus on the hitter at that point. That runner's not going anywhere from third, and you had 2 outs. So yeah, definitely not a well-advised throw. The probabilities of picking him off there are so low that you're almost better off just facing the hitter at that point.
So a mound visit, and we will take a break. You are watching SBS, Broadcasting Network for everyone.
If you give your PIN or password over the phone, you might as well wallpaper your room with cash. Why don't you just use $1 bills?
Okay, these will come right off. It's just hot glue. So they gonna take it back, right? Here you go. Careful, careful.
Oh no, something spilled over here.
3-1 lead for the Demons here in the bottom of the second after the mound visit. We'll see what the Hawks can do.
Be looking for this runner to take off, and there he goes, first pitch.
So, partner, is that a slide step problem?
It could be. It could be, yeah. Probably not paying attention enough and slide step. Yeah, it could very well have been. That's exactly what it could have been. And with the jump that he had, see, now there's a situation where as a coach, I'm looking to throw over to first base on that. Even if it's just something slow, there's a good chance he's going to get him because everyone in the park knew he was going on that first pitch. Yeah, it appears to me that, unfortunately, the pitcher's not even checking the runner. He was halfway between second and third while the pitcher still had the ball in that play. So you want to be a little more aware of where your runners are.
Oh, boy. But not the fleetest of foot in Dylan Lopez, so he'll maintain his position at third base.
He may have been tired from stealing first and second.
Yeah.
Or second and third.
Count. See, what I don't like about the catcher, too, is he's putting the hand on his hip. Any foul ball is going to break that wrist.
Yeah, you got to keep him safe at any age, and certainly at this age.
You got to put it behind your back. Don't put it on your hip. Swung on a miss for strike 3, but the damage is done. Another error, and it leads to a couple of runs. We go to the top of the third with a 3-1 lead for the Demons. Top of the third as the Hawks look to recover from those errors they made in the bottom of the second. I hate to use the cliches that came from the movie Bull Durham, but baseball is a game. Sometimes you catch the ball, you hit the ball, and then sometimes it rains. And that's what's happened in the bottom of the second inning for the Hawks. They couldn't catch the ball. They fielded the ball okay, But if you can't catch the ball, you don't win in baseball. As cliched and stereotypical as that is, that's what happened to the Hawks in the previous inning.
Yeah, you hate to see him give away 2 runs, and unfortunately that's what happened. So they have an opportunity now to make up for it and get the bats alive here and see if they can generate a few runs and get themselves back in this game. A lot of ball to go here. Beautiful day to be out here.
Top of the third. Dylan doing a great job on videography duties for us, as that's a line drive, but foul.
That's a good aggressive swing. He was way ahead of that, drove it into the left field foul area. Pretty cool thing about this park I was noticing, and we were talking earlier about how beautiful of a park it is, and it is there's some homes out in left field, and they have a screen that actually protects the homes just beyond the left field fence. So it's kind of camouflaged with the trees, but really pretty out here.
Yes, it's outside and high for ball. It's Reisky, Triesenberg, and August. And the problem for the Hawks is they have 5 strikeouts and they only have 1 hit.
And they're still in the game. Hard to believe, right?
Well, it's also only the 3rd inning.
True. Yeah, so as they go through second time in the order here, they might be able to get a better read on exactly what's coming at them. And
Beautiful frame by the catcher with the snow cone catch.
yeah, that's an overpowering fastball right there. He just threw it right down the middle with real strong velocity. Just missing low there again. Good pitch.
See if he jams him. You don't have to throw a strike here.
No, I like that. Throw it out of the zone, but close enough to make him chase.
That's what he did. See if they get him on the
Yeah, good call.
strike.
Good call, Kyle. That's a really good call. Yeah, he didn't throw a strike. He went after it, missed it, and unfortunately the ball got passed, so it's going to be a drop third strike, and he's going to advance to first base, and the Hawks have their leadoff runner on here in the third. Good start for them as they start to hopefully chip away at this 2-run deficit.
You know, I was reading a biography about Stan Musial, as I'll tell you after this pitch. And Stan Musial was so good, he got to second base on a drop third strike.
Wow.
And the opposing manager said, "Stan, I give up. Even when I strike you out, you get a double."
Love that.
Little chopper jammed him on the inner part. Close plate first, but they get him by a step and a half.
That's a nice play right there. That's a nice play by the pitcher, and the reason for that is it was a slow roller towards second base, toward the second base area where the second baseman would be. Second baseman had to go over to second base to cover, so the pitcher ran it out and was able to make that play. So good communication by the Demon defense, and that's a big out. So they got a runner at second, but they're able to get the out. So now 1 away, and again, good aggressive defense, fielding his own position in the pitching slot. So well done.
Pickoff play to second. Easily back in there is Brian Reisky. We'll give you some human interest stories about these players in a second. Appreciate Kurt Vanderah and all the hard work he did along with the coaching staff for all 4 teams. Swung on a miss. Oh, boy. We need to check these gloves, see if they're regulation. That's an error. And you know what, Jerry, I'm going to say error on the third baseman. It wasn't a terrible throw.
Yeah, it'll either be there or it'll be on the catcher. It's hard to have tell exactly, but you're right. Possibly a ball that would be caught. It appeared to come in short too, though. So either way, it's not clean ball. That ball's got to be thrown so the third baseman can make a play, and unfortunately it wasn't made, and they gave a runaway.
At the same time, the third baseman has to know, I have to get off the bag and play like a first baseman, or actually like a catcher to block it so that he doesn't advance another base.
Yeah, that's a great point. Any kind of block would keep that ball there and keep that runner at third. But if it gets past, now that runner scores, as he did right there. So there's a good fastball on the inside part of the plate for a strike.
Jacob Vanderah behind the plate for the Demons. He threw a 12-strikeout no-hitter a couple days ago. 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch. That was it.
Well, you're seeing him start to build on that momentum, and you're starting to see exactly how he was able to do that. Again, he's got strong velocity. He's able to locate that fastball on both the inner and the outer part of the plate. So really strong pitcher here and protecting a one-run lead at this point.
Vanderau behind the plate. He pitched a couple days ago, so they have a new pitcher today in Renko.
I gotcha. I apologize. I misunderstood. I gotcha.
Right. In case people are wondering, there is a 105 pitch limit for 3 days, so Vanderau is not eligible to pitch today.
Right. Which I like. You know, you want to keep these guys healthy, keep them fresh. You know, they've got hopefully strong careers ahead of them. Some of these guys here are playing high school ball and will be joining these teams later on. But you've got high school coming up, you've got college coming up, you've got junior college, and who knows, some of these players might even go on beyond that. So you want to keep them safe and keep them growing. They're still growing at this point. This age group, this senior league is 16 to 19. So these are young men that are still, you know, understanding themselves, understanding their game, and still growing.
Ground ball left side, and it's fouled away.
Infield's in pretty good condition considering all the rain we've had over the last few days. Outfield, like you said, is slow. Right field specifically is a little swampy, but overall pretty good conditions out there.
Down the middle for strike two. Working on his 7th strikeout if he can finish the deal.
And there's that fastball we were talking about. Is he able to paint it just on the outer part of the plate there, which is a really nice location. That's a tough ball to catch up to.
That one is just absolutely smoked to the outfield. And it's going to be a base hit for Austin Jusma.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. So he came back with the same fastball over the outer part of the plate. And again, as a good hitter, if you're going to get something toward the middle and outer half of the plate, you want to be able to drive it to the right side. And that's exactly what he did, driving a line drive over the second baseman into right field for a base hit. So real good piece of hitting there. Good piece of pitching as well. It's just he came back with the same pitch twice in a row and didn't get away with it the second time.
So that'll bring up Gavin Boland. As that's high and inside for a ball.
Again, tough strike zone here. You got not a real tall hitter up there, so that strike zone shrinks down a little bit. Important for the catcher to not only frame these pitches, but also to give him a good target to throw at.
We will cut to camera 2 on occasion. And you can watch it as many times as you'd like. Cameras 1 through 3 today. High fastball. I don't know if that's the pitch you want to swing on 1-0.
No, not necessarily. It looked more of a defensive swing than an aggressive swing, so was able to get a piece of it, evening the count at 1-1. But yeah, out of the zone like that with a 1-0 count, you're looking for something a little more down the middle that you could actually drive.
Apologize, it's now 1-2. We missed a pitch. Doing a lot of things today, getting all the camera angles ready. Oh!
So that's a devastating curveball right there. That's an example of what we were talking about earlier, where the batter is expecting one thing and gets another. He's looking fastball, and that pitch broke beautifully. Off-speed curveball came in as a strike. Beautiful pitch to end the inning.
We're going to take a break. Bottom of the third coming up here between the Hawks and the Demons.
My experience has been great. My son had come here first, and we had such a good experience that I brought my daughter back.
What I love about coming here is that as soon as I check in, it's like 5 seconds in, and they're like already calling me to the back. I do like the girls in the back. They're very nice, and they're fun to talk to.
When I first walk in, the welcome staff says hello to me, and I go up there to do the check-in, and then I can sit down if I want. There's charging ports, or I can go to the game room and play games in there.
I like how you can brush your teeth when you forget, and then after that you can play games.
When I get called, I go back and they do my braces. I can pick different colors, and you get Patilla points, which you can exchange for real-life rewards. I got a gift card for Amazon, and I'm saving up for another one, so that way I can go and buy some stuff for Disney World. And then I go and get hot chocolate, which they've got in the lobby, and then I'm done. I'm going to be starting my second phase of braces soon, and my teeth will be straight, and it's going to help me with my confidence.
I am looking forward to straighter, better teeth that I can enjoy and show off to people when I smile.
You're on. Bottom of the third, it is definitely Renko's day today. He's got 7 strikeouts for the Demons. He has been absolutely brilliant.
He really has. He's protecting a one-run league and really throwing some good balls up there. Yeah, good velocity. He's locating the ball well, and pitching a heck of a game. It's fun to watch him. Fun to watch him out there. That curveball at the end of the last inning was very impressive. He froze the hitter with a breaking ball over the center of the plate. So anytime you can throw a breaking ball for a strike, that's a real positive thing. So he looks fantastic out there.
Low-scoring game, only 3-2 as we enter the bottom of the third.
Yeah, this is some real good ball. It'll be interesting to see how things continue to progress. Every run at this point will matter. So, again, really tight. We'll see if the Demons can get something on here and enlarge that lead a little bit. It's a good aggressive swing there. Ball just seemingly on the outer part of the plate, just swung and missed, so 0-1, but a good aggressive swing to lead off the inning here.
So here's the updated lineup that the manager and Kurt Vandeross sent me. Jake Genender leading off, Jacob Vandera batting second, Sebastian Renko hitting third, Ben Owens in the cleanup spot, Brendan Cochran hitting fifth, Dominic Sanino batting sixth, Tyson Sussner batting seventh, Cameron Posey batting eighth, Eric Greenwald batting ninth, and Dylan Lopez batting 10th.
That's a good pitch, the one just before this one. It looks like it's a 2-2 count at this point, and he threw that third one in there for a strike. So surprised to see him miss inside. I'd be looking to go outside with something like that.
As that's going to be a ground line drive out.
Actually, base hit got through. It got through.
All right.
Yeah, tough to see it from that angle, but the ball went between third and short. We were blocked by the fence there. We couldn't see it. But, yeah, it was a nice base hit just between third and short. So they'll lead off with a single here, leadoff runner on for the Demons.
And stepping off, the pitcher in Reisky. So we will update that lineup for you in a second. And stepping up the pitcher in Reisky. So they moved Genender to the leadoff spot. As that's going to be a grounder to short. They get him at second for one.
And they're able to turn it.
6:43 double play.
That's a really nice double play right there. That was well done. Clean throw from the shortstop to second. Second base over to first. The batter looked like he had a tough time getting out of the box, so they got him out by several steps. But a really nice defensive play by the Hawks there to turn that. And the leadoff single goes to waste there as now they have 2 outs. That's what you like to see at this level. Just good fundamental execution. Good pickup by the shortstop. Clean throws. And that's fun to watch. And that's what you want to see more often than not. That's why just throw strikes. Let your defense do what it's supposed to do.
Outside for a ball.
Well, that's not a great example of defense right there, but that's all right.
They can't all be gems.
I guess, yeah. But that's what you strive for, right? Strive to be perfect.
Belichick never said you had to be perfect. He just said no days off.
That's true.
You know, as long as you try your hardest and don't take days off, Belichick loves you.
One of the greatest of all time. I think a little time off for him will be good. I'll be curious to see what he does in the in the next year or two if he decides to want to come back. And a lot of people don't know. He's got a great personality if you get to actually really know him. And I think he'd be a good TV person.
Oh, he'd be great.
He really would with his knowledge.
Like, when he doesn't have to win football games anymore, you're going to see the real Bill Belichick on TV.
Yeah. He does a lot of work on NFL Network, and I've seen him interviewed with Bill Parcells and a couple other guys, and he's got a lot of personality. He's a good man. He gets a little bit of a bum rap because of his presence with the media, but he's actually a good man, heck of a coach, and I think he would be great as a personality on TV.
Meanwhile, runner at first, 2 down. You know, it's been a pretty even game. The difference in this game, the Hawks have committed more errors than the Demons.
That's exactly what it is.
But now they're shoring up the defense a little bit with that nice double play. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Absolutely. And generally, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is the team that's going to win.
So here's the interesting part about that play, part. A good pop time, but couldn't finish on the tag. Did the batter back up into the catcher? If he's in the box, it's legal. If he takes one step out of the box backwards towards the catcher, it's an out.
That's a great point. Great observation on your part. Yeah. Appears to have not, given the fact that the umpire didn't call it. But, boy, it was sure close.
And those are the issues when you use chalk over paint. Paint stays in the batter's box. Chalk will eventually vanish.
Well, that's high-level stuff right there. You're exactly right. Yeah, I was always fascinated as a kid watching him paint the batter's boxes down at White Sox Park and at Wrigley. And that you're absolutely right. It's a big difference. And at this level, obviously, you're using more of a chalk than you would be using a paint. So, and especially now, they didn't redo them before this game after the last game. So the only batter box there is the one that the umpire sees is in his mind. So great point.
You don't think the players will do it until you don't change the rule.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, people will take as much as you'll give them, right?
2-2 the count. Runner at second, 2 dead. This is a big-time pitch. And he'll step off, and that's what I'd like to see the Demons do a little bit more.
Absolutely, yeah. I like that. Step off, let the runner know that you know he's there. You don't have to necessarily throw it, but just by the step off, he's going to be thinking twice about getting a big jump.
As it's fouled away, and it brings up what baseball has done and how they've changed the rules, how you're only allowed 2 disengagements per pitcher.
Correct.
Which I disagree with. I don't love the idea of bringing a robotic strike zone. I don't love the pitch clock because we've seen so many pitching injuries from it.
Yeah, highly debatable topics, great topics. On one end, well, I'll let you wrap up the inning there.
We'll talk about it in the top of the 4th. It's a 3-2 lead for the Demons here on SBS. 3-2 lead for the Demons. What a beautiful day for baseball once again. I mean, I say that because we live in this wonderful Midwestern weather where one day it's 32 and the next day it's 72 and then the next day it's 52 degrees with 6 inches of rain. Now we're starting to get that baseball weather consistently, and I love it.
Yeah, it is. It's that time of year. Like you said, sun is out. It's a beautiful day. We're starting to be a little more consistent in the temperatures. An early happy Mother's Day to all the mothers tomorrow. We're going to celebrate with a beautiful 80-degree and sunny day. So you're right. The nice weather is definitely coming in a more consistent way, and I know we're all looking forward to that.
You know, Parter, we talk about where the game is going, and we've seen all these pitching injuries. Does some of that have to do with the pitching clock, as that's a little liner left side? And did he get on base? He did.
Yep.
Nobody caught it.
It's going to fall in for a hit. It's an errant throw to second base, but the runner's unable to advance.
Yeah, in a one-run game, you just can't force it. But what I wanted to ask you, Jerry, is do you think the 20-second pitch clock is leading to pitchers like Shane Bieber and Spencer Strider having arm issues? If we lessen it to 45 or 60 seconds, will those arm issues go down?
Yeah, it's...
Close play at second, but too high of a throw.
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, it's such a debatable issue, and I think it certainly can contribute. I think every incident is specific and every case is isolated. In some cases, though, I think that could absolutely be the case because, like you said, they're not used to throwing as often as they are now. At the same time, you know, you got to manage these guys a little bit, and some of them, you know, you don't need to throw the ball 100 miles an hour every time. So it's very debatable, and it's something that I'm sure they're going to be working on over in the coming years to, you know, keep the game in a manageable perspective so you're not sitting out there for 3 hours and 45 minutes to watch a baseball game while at the same time not letting, you know, your star players, you know, be missing. Because that's what fans they want to see. So, it's a great subject, Kyle.
Yeah, and as this pitch clock continues on and baseball continues to evaluate what's leading to viewership versus what's in the best interest of our players,
right?
I think more changes will be done.
I think
there's the little things, like I was watching a White Sox game, and it was like a 2-2 or 3-2 count on Andrew Vaughn, and Vaughn didn't get back in time in the box, and they called strike 3 on him for a pitch clock violation. I'm like, is that really the intent of the rule? To ring somebody up for not getting back into the box quick enough?
Right. No, of course, yeah. At the same time, you know, you got to get used to that's a breaking ball right there.
It was a little bit of a hanger, though, but then again, are you expecting a curveball on 2-2?
Right. And when you can throw that for a strike, that is a beautiful pitch. It dropped right in, so that's a big strikeout right there with a runner on second.
And what makes pitching so great, you don't have to have the most talent. You don't have to have the best velocity. You just need creativity and confidence.
Right, absolutely.
If you're confident out there, you can dominate. When you second guess your pitches, you're a lost cause. It doesn't matter if you throw 100 miles an hour.
Right.
High inside fastball, and
got him at third.
They did get him.
Threw a strike down to third and got the runner trying to steal. So really nice throw from the catcher on that one, and that's a big out. And you're right. The more strikes you throw, the more success you have, the more your confidence grows. And that's why I was looking to see how he would evolve into the second, third, and fourth inning after, you know, kind of finding himself in that first inning, not as consistent as he would like to be. But he's certainly finding himself now. There's a strike on the inside part of the plate as well. So, yeah, that positivity and that confidence is starting to get contagious now.
1-2 the count. Swung on and missed, strike 3. As it's a pitch count, not an innings limit, so if Ranko can limit these pitches, he could pitch a complete game. Meanwhile, we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's still a 3-2 lead here on SBS.
Hi, everyone. John Rogers. that phone call that we let.
Hope you're having as much fun as we are. It's the bottom of the 4th inning between the Hawks and the Demons. It's a pitcher's duel between Reisky and Renko, and the winner of this game is going to be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. I know we've talked about it a lot in this broadcast, but nobody's really hitting the ball hard right now.
No, well, again, we're seeing two dominating pitchers, and that's why we're not seeing the ball get hit a lot. So, it's going to come down, like you said, to the team that makes the least amount of mistakes on defense and the team that can execute the best on offense, meaning get that leadoff runner on, be aggressive with some steals. I haven't seen a bunt yet in this game. I saw a real nice bunt in the last one. I haven't seen anything yet so far, so that's something that we might want to be looking for going forward in this game. If we get a runner on first, if they're able to steal, look for a steal. If they're able to maybe move that runner with a bunt, that's another way to go. So, and it was funny. It was one of the 4 hitters in the last game I was watching where he went up and he laid one down beautifully down the third base line. And so, yeah, it's going to come down to some strategy and which manager is going to be the most creative with regard to offense, at least at this point, unless one of these teams starts hitting.
Outside for a ball, just a bit outside. He tried the corners and missed.
He certainly did, yeah. So again, leadoff hitter here. This is a big hitter. That's a good pitch, painting the outside part of the plate for strike 1, evening the count at 1-1.
Oh boy, let that hit you.
That's exactly what it was going to do too. He turned on it and almost drove it into his own dugout, or into the Demon dugout rather.
It's going to hurt, but not really. It bangs you for a couple seconds, then you get over it. And
there's a nice play by the third baseman. He's able to snag that ball on the ground, but he went to his knees to get it and wasn't able to throw with enough velocity over to first, so the runner beats it out. So leadoff single there for the Demons. So, again, here's what we talked about. You got a leadoff runner on. You've got one of your substitute players there, again, because of like you said, one of the players wasn't able to make it because of a car incident.
Yes, errant throw.
But does not advance. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a very closed-off park, so.
Yeah, good point. And he had a head dive back first. He dove head first back into first, so he wasn't able to get up and take off fast enough. So actually a good call to keep him at first.
See if Posey has anything left in the tank. He was on base at least 3 times in that win over the Red Blazers earlier today.
Well, that's a great point. So this guy knows how to get on base, and that's what you're looking for in this scenario.
They're going to say balked.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not shocked by that, Jerry. It looked like when nobody was on base, he was not coming to a pause.
Yeah.
Did he balk again? Now they're going to say batter called time.
Yeah, good observation, a good call on the balk. I didn't catch it. I was watching the runner at first to see what he was doing, and you're exactly right. So he's awarded second base, and now you have a runner on second with nobody out, and the pitcher behind in the count.
Yeah. So do we call that leadoff single, do we call it an infield hit, or do we call it an error?
I would call it an infield hit. It was far enough to his left where it was a tough play for him to get. So I myself would call it a hit.
Don't lose him here. Posey's a good hitter. Anything on the ground is going to be a tough play at first base. Oof.
It's a good swing and a miss right there.
That's where you want to get him. Posey is a little bit far away from the plate. And remember, it's a high school strike zone, so you do a baseball's distance on all sides of the plate.
Good call.
2-2. Yep. That time he missed his spot. But that's the thing. He's a little bit far away from the plate. So when you're further away from the plate with your stance, you got to be quicker with your bat speed and your barrel percentage to get that bat out.
I like that. That's a good piece of fundamental hitting right there. That's exactly right. So that one just going foul. So he's 2-2. He's battling up there. Like you said, he's a good little hitter.
2-2. Step off and look at him.
Again, I like that. You know, just let him know that you know he's there. So you don't have to throw it. But just keep them close. Let them know that you're thinking about them over there.
2-2. Posey has a job to do. Got to get it to the right side to get him to third base. Ooh, you got to wear that, kid.
Misses on the inside part of the plate. Or the inside part of the zone, actually. He was definitely inside, far inside.
3-2. He did not pause, by the way. And here's the problem, too, Jerry, is once you call a balk, once you've established that, you have to keep calling it. And I know you don't want to award runs or change complexion of ball games by advancing runners to third base and home, but a balk is a balk. It's like in basketball and any other sport. When you're inconsistent with your calls, that's what ticks off managers and coaches.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. Yeah, if he's going to call it on one, he's got to call it on the other or continue to call it on the one who's making, the balk. So, yeah, that's on the pitcher and on the coach to make sure that he's, pitching correctly and staying within the guidelines and the rules of what he can and can't do out there. So, because you're absolutely right. You want to see consistency out of the umpire, so for sure.
That's ball 4. Posey will gladly take the walk. The positive of that, Jerry, is now you have a force at 3 bases, and the infield fly is in effect.
It's a great point. Yes, yeah. First base was open, so not the worst walk in the world, especially with a good hitter like you're saying. So, yeah, infield here is at double play depth, which is where I would be, and then check that runner at third if, in fact, they do turn the double play.
Why do you think at the big league level we don't see double steals anymore?
That's a great question. I would say it has more to do with the quality of the hitters now. So many guys are able to drive the ball and hit balls for home runs that I think they're relying more on that. You would think with the large bases, like last year we saw a dramatic increase in steals, but why they're not double stealing, that's a good question. I don't know. I myself would be. So I think it's a great question. I like that. I like that thought. There's a big strikeout, by the way. Got him swinging, so it's a big out right there. Runners on first and second, able to strike him out. That's a big first out for him.
25 takes the lead off second. Pickoff play.
Threw it into center field. So again, I liked what he was doing earlier with regard to just looking back, and he's diving head first back. He apparently thought he might have a chance at getting him, and instead he threw the ball into center field. And again, with him diving back to second, he was unable to get up and be able to advance in time. So no damage there.
Fakes the bunt. And remember, you do not have to poke at the ball. If you have the bat over the plate and you don't poke at it, it's not a strike. That swung on and missed. Yeah,
I like the idea there about the bunt. Any way you can move these runners to second and third and give your next 2 hitters an opportunity to enhance the lead, I think that's a positive thing.
Just miss hitting him, 2-1.
Yeah, that's one like you're saying. You'd like to see him have one of those forearm guards out there and take one off the forearm. Yeah.
Very close to being hit again, 3-1. And now you get to a spot, if you're a pitcher, first base is technically open. I don't want to give up a grapefruit here. Right at the knees, nice pitch.
It was a nice pitch. That's borderline call, but you're right. It appeared to have crossed over the plate just at the knee, so good pitch.
Remember, it's not a major league strike zone either.
No, it's not.
Ball 4.
Yes, sir.
And now the Hawks are in a whole heap of trouble.
Yeah, they certainly are. With only 1 out, Demons have a chance here to add on. Bases loaded, 1 out. And the Hawks are going to talk about this at the mound. Grab this.
So we will take a quick break. You're watching SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
We're known as Levin Tire, but we're so much more than a tire dealer. At Levin Tire and Service Center, we do oil changes, brakes, alignments, engine and electrical work, and much more. Plus, we have new tires starting at $39. Go to LevinTireCenter.com to shop for tires, request an appointment, and to find coupons off your next service. Visit one of our 6 locations today. We're more than tires. Levin Tire and Service Center. Since 1918, earning your trust one day at a time.
Action at beautiful Dyer Babe Ruth League Field, as that's in there for a strike. I want to say a big thank you to all the interns that work today. It's not easy driving to Dyer. Some people live around here, but some people don't. You guys got the experience you wanted, and also you're having fun. But I do appreciate all the hard work that you've done today, so thank you guys so much. Thank you to all the sponsors today. And thank you to Mother Nature. You finally cooperated for once.
Great day to be out here. It's a lot of fun. Got some good company, got some great ball, and a beautiful day to be out here. So definitely enjoying the time.
Grapefruit right down the middle. As it's going to get to the outfield. 2 runs will score. And Posey, he's got to get that monkey off his back part. He was taking a long time to get the home plate.
Yes, yeah. Big hit, though, so that's going to blow it open a little bit here. I think we're looking at a 5-2 game now. 2 big runs by the Demons. Good base hit through the left side of the field. And so, yeah, Demons taking advantage. 2nd and 3rd now with still only 1 out. So the Demons a really nice opportunity here to continue to add on. So, again, it's like I was talking about earlier. Move those runners ahead, whether it be by bunting or stealing or wild pitch or however you got to get them there. And now they're sitting here with 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out, a chance to even add on more. Good aggressive swing and a miss there. Again, he's going up there looking to hit, so looking for something he can drive into one of the gaps and clear these bases out. Good look over to third. I like that. Look him over to third, run over that way, but don't necessarily have to throw it. There was no play there anyway, so just let him know that you're seeing him.
Outside and missed. 2-1.
That's a good take, good fastball, just missing over the outside part of the plate.
So that one misses for ball 3.
Boy, talk about a good hitter's count here. 3-1, runners on 2nd and 3rd. You have first base open if you need it. And he misses.
Yeah. Decides to walk him. Base is full of Demons once again.
So again, like you said earlier, the positive in that is now you've got the bases loaded. You've got a force out at any base, so that could be advantageous. Anything back to the mound, you want to go home with it and get that force out at home, keep another run off the board. It's still a game, but Demons have a chance to blow this thing open right here. Misses high and inside on that one, and there's nowhere to put him. So he's got to start disciplining himself and throw some strikes.
Sebastian Renko at the plate right now. Renko is a senior at Lake Central. He'll be going to Purdue University Northwest in the fall.
It's a great baseball school. One of the other Demons is currently going there now as a freshman. So, yeah, good ball, good academics over at Purdue.
And I think this is going to do it for Reisky if he can't get this hitter.
Yeah, and they're a little light on players. I was looking into the bullpens, but I realized they don't have enough players there to have anybody warming up. So comes back with a nice strike there. But yeah, no one currently warming up. So whoever's going to pitch is going to come from the field.
And that will be ball 4. And it's a 6-2 lead now for the Demons.
Again, Demons have a real chance here to just add on. So there is a slaughter rule at this level of 10 after 5. We're a ways away from that, but that is something to be aware of. Home run here would certainly bring that a lot closer. And I'm with you on the pitching. I'm a little surprised that there's not at least a pitching visit here from the coach. but he may not have too much left to go. Again, this is, I believe, their third game of the year, so they're still early in the season. Should have some fresh arms out there.
2-1 the count with Ben Owens at the plate. He got hit by a pitch and walked, so no official plate appearance yet. Wind starting to pick up outside for a ball.
Yeah, that's a good day, though, getting down to first base no matter how you do it, right?
He get on base a lot. Do I care if it's a hit or a walk?
Such a great line, such a great movie. Moneyball.
Right. The problem with the movie is the A's had a very talented team. Miguel Tejada, Barry Zito, Mark Mulder, Tim Hudson.
Yeah, they had a great team and a great run for that period.
Like Eric Chavez hit 34 home runs that season.
That streak was something I wasn't aware of at the time. Was it 21 games they won?
20, and
20?
then the Indians broke it. Sorry, the Guardians. Can I call them the Indians? I say formerly the Indians. How does that work?
I think you'd have to call them the Indians because that's what they were back in the day. That's what they were at the time, right?
Yeah, in 2017.
Yeah. So I would go with Indians because that's what they were known as at the time. So here's that pitching meeting that I was talking about. So give him a break, a chance to refocus, or we're going to see a pitching change.
Yep, that's the second mound visit, so they'll have to go to the bullpen, and we'll be back here on SBS.
We're known as Levin Tire, but we're so much more than a tire dealer. At Levin Tire and Service Center, we do oil changes, brakes, alignments, engine and electrical work, and much more. Plus, we have new tires starting at $39. Go to levintirecenter.com to shop for tires, request an appointment, and to find coupons off your next service. Visit one of our 6 locations today. We're more than tires. Levin Tire and Service Center. Since 1918, earning your trust one day at a time.
Well, Jerry, it was a ball game before it wasn't. Now it's a 7-2 lead for the Demons, and the bases are still loaded.
Yeah, again, big opportunity here for the Demons to put this thing out of reach. We haven't seen much out of the Hawk offense to make one think that, you know, they can come back based on this deficit, not to mention the strong pitching we've seen from the Demons so far. So I will say one thing, though. One of the toughest things for a pitcher is a long break like this. And when you have, I'm not timing it, but if you're looking at maybe a 15-minute inning where you're sitting and you're not throwing, that could very well affect his momentum and affect how he goes out, even his focus mentally. So, you know, we're a long way from over here. Hawks still have a great shot of coming back, but things are increasingly getting stacked against them here.
And what's confusing, too, partner, is both teams are down some men. So there's like a mixture of jerseys today. There's red and blue and black.
And green. We even got green out there today.
Yeah, we got a little green.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is. It's tough to... Hey, that's youth baseball, right? Things happen, so... But you're right. It can get confusing, especially from our perspective.
Yeah. The problem is things have been happening to the White Sox. That Phillies White Sox game where Lenine Souza was at second base, and the Phillies pulled the double switch at first and third base. Phillies did a straight steal, and Lenine Souza threw it in the stands.
Wow.
So both runners scored.
Yeah.
Not exactly what the White Sox were trying to do on that play.
No, and it's like we said, right? Crazy things can happen at all levels of baseball, and you know those are major league ball players, and to see a ball get thrown into the stands is certainly not the norm. But they're having that kind of year, so.
Yeah. Like when a team is struggling like the Rockies, Marlins, and White Sox, usually at the major league level, you don't want to pull the first and third double steal.
Right.
But when those teams you're playing against them, that's when you try to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I still remember that Rockies-Cubs games where the Cubs pulled the double steal on the Rockies, and there were like 20 throws on a pickle, and the Cubs still scored.
Wow.
I think that was Corey Patterson's rookie year.
That's a great story.
John Lever was on that team.
Yeah, good team.
Fortunately, they crumbled down the stretch. 1-1 the count. Fred McGriff was on that team, too.
Yeah, that was a good period. Good period for the Cubs. They're starting to put it back together now. The Cubs have a nice ball team. I saw they were, I think, 4th favorite in MLB by Vegas to power rankings. So they're looking good. They're playing some good ball. They got some good players. They get some players back healthy in a couple weeks, and hopefully they can continue to build on their momentum.
Eventually, the Dodgers got to do it, right? With all that talent. Eventually, it's going to happen.
Well, you would think, and it's starting to happen now. They've won, I believe, several in a row now. So you were kind of waiting for it to all start to gel, and it certainly is. It is now. So, yeah, it's a loaded ball team, and they're starting to execute on the field. So, I like the way the Dodgers do their business, and they're off to a great start, and they're really starting to catch fire now, like everyone was expecting.
Pop fly, and it'll be an infield fly.
Yeah, that's a good grab. That's a big out right there for the Hawks. So they needed that badly, and that'll bring it to 2 outs now.
So they bat around, and this will now be the 11th hitter of the inning.
And it's funny, we were just talking about, how long a pitcher can sit before he has to get ready to go. And I see the Demon pitcher, who's having a great game, is out there throwing in the left field foul area as we speak. So again,
you always wonder how bad umpiring impacts youth ball players. It's kind of pitches like that, which is clearly a ball. It's expanding out of the zone. There's not a lot of heat on it. There's not a lot of rise action on it. It's not a great four-seam. But the batter swung at it. Well, why did he swing at it? Hit by a pitch. That'll be an RBI the not-so-fun way.
Yes, yes.
And it is just unraveling right now for the Hawks.
But you're right. Inconsistent umpiring can cause players to start going outside a zone that they would normally go or have been taught to stay within. So, no, you're right. There's definitely an effect to all of that.
You swing at pitches you would normally swing at, then you get into bad habits.
Right, exactly. And you hate to see that, especially at the youth level where they're still trying to develop fundamentals and develop their own game.
At the same time, you do not want a major league strike zone at the high school level, and of course below that.
Like you said earlier, you just want consistency.
Yeah.
As best you can do it. You want to see consistencies across the board with balls and strikes, balks, outs, everything.
And it's tough, especially in other sports. Consistency. Basketball's the toughest. Here's a ground ball left side.
Well, unfortunately, he's not able to make that play. So what happened there is, I think he took his eye off the ball because a runner going from second to third ran right in front of him. And that's a really difficult play for an infielder to make when they have the ball coming at them and you've got somebody running across in front of you. So that's exactly what happened there. Runner was going 2 outs, so the runner's advancing from second to third on a ground ball to short. And I think he lost his focus and it went off his mitt and he had to eat the ball. So one of the drills that I do with some of my softball girls is I will hit them ground balls and I will put I will put people in front of them who are there just to distract them so they get used to not being distracted when they're picking up a ground ball. And that drill would have worked well right there because unfortunately that I think is why he was not able to pick that ball up clean. That was a fairly routine ground ball.
0-2 to Greenwald. 10-2. Believe it or not, the score was once 3-2. Swung on and missed. Greenwald expands the zone. The inning is finally over, but not before 7 runs cross home plate. We go to the top of the 5th. It's all Demons here on SBS.
If you give your PIN or password over the phone, you might as well wallpaper your room with cash. Why don't you just use $1 bills?
Okay, these will come right off. It's just hot glue. The make them take it back, right? You go, careful, careful.
Oh no, something spilled over here.
10-2 lead. Jerry, Mama said there'd be days like this. Mama said, and that's what's happening to the Hawks right now.
Yeah, unfortunate. You know, a really tight game, and again, some mental errors, some walks, maybe leaving the pitcher in a little bit long. And again, you don't know the background there. You know, maybe the coach didn't have anyone he could go to, and that's why he went with him a little bit longer than maybe he could have. But there's a shot deep into the left center gap. Diving attempt by the center fielder, but he's unable to get it. So the runner will go from first to second, and he will be held there. That's, well, there's a shot. That's a little momentum starter right there, huh, Kyle?
Yep, now you just need 10 more of those.
Yeah, that was a really nice shot into deep left center field. Great effort by the center fielder. He dove head first, and it just was not enough to be able to get to it. So, but he did a nice job recovering the ball and getting it into the infield and holding him to a double. So, but one of those, it's the strongest hit we've seen all day, especially off a good pitching performance here by the Demon pitcher. But yeah, left center line shot laser went all the way to the wall.
1-0 count. Swung on and missed. If you're the Demons, you don't even care about the running here. You're just looking to get outs.
Absolutely no. You're focused on the hitter. Wouldn't hurt to check back once in a while just to let him know you know he's there. But again, you're focused on that hitter. I wouldn't worry about the runner at second. It means nothing.
Yeah. Surprised Posey's even playing the pickoff play.
It's a good point. Yeah, you're almost better off just playing your normal position. Now with a lefty up there, you can see him shading towards second base. But I agree, yeah.
It's a little outside, but the umpires called that on the black today, so I understand why he swung at it in Brian Reisky. Hawks need a lot of hits. And that's what I don't like as a catcher. Don't move the glove, move the knees. If you move the knee, the glove will move with you. When you try to push the glove back into the plate, umpires are going to call it a ball every time.
Yeah, that's a great point. Again, spoken like a true former catcher. That's well done.
I mean, that's why these catchers have such knee problems, is because they move their knees so much to frame. Will the robotic strike zone preserve the careers of these catchers because they don't have to frame anymore?
Yeah, that's another really good point as well. Yeah, another positive case for the automatic strike zone.
I mean, there were fans of the Twins and the Giants just because Joe Mauer and Buster Posey were playing. But once they had concussion and knee problems, fans of those players were no longer there.
Right. Yeah, player safety has to take precedence, so however you do that is certainly a priority.
Right. But unfortunately, I mean, they've done surveys, especially at the minor league level, and the players love the robotic strike zone.
The robotic, the automatic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. They love the human element. They don't love the.
Okay. That's
so,
what I
it's
remember.
been a long day for me.
No, you're good. That's what I remember you saying earlier. I just want to make sure I heard it right. Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. Well, like you said, they can do a makeup call, whereas a computer's not going to do that.
Fly ball to center field.
Oh, great catch by the center fielder. He went up and got it and is going to throw it back to second to keep that runner there. That is a great effort by the center fielder, and he's pumped up.
So Jerry, as an outfielder, especially in center field, what kind of route are you looking to take to the ball so you can try to catch it in front of you instead of having to do a jump?
You want to head back first, and that's exactly what he did. You want to turn your entire body toward the center field wall, run back, and locate it that way, and that's exactly what he did. It was a little bit on an angle to his right, but he did a great job running back to get a good jump on the ball, and then was able to just get it in the edge of the webbing. That was one heck of a catch, by the way, so credit to him. That was an awesome, awesome catch, and he almost came up with the one that was in the gap. He just came up a little short on that one. That's a good center fielder, and that's a lot of range. There's a shot into deep right field. That's going to be into foul territory, and it's going to fall for a foul ball. Good effort there by the right fielder as well. Dove. I couldn't tell if he came up with it. He did not come up with it. And again, it was in foul territory. Tough run. He seems to be a little bit dinged up, by the way. He might have jammed his wrist, it appears. So they're going to take a quick look at him. Again, it's tough running out in right field. We had a lot of rain here this week, and that right field is like a swamp. So your footing is not as good, even with spikes. So he made a nice effort. It appears to have maybe jammed his wrist a little bit, but they're going to take a look at him. Hopefully he'll be fine.
Meanwhile, a 10-2 game. Runners at first and second. That's a high fastball, just missed.
Yeah, they're walking him back from right field. They're going to pull him, actually. They're going to make a defensive switch here. Hopefully he's okay, nothing serious there. He made a real nice effort going after that ball. Just came up a little bit short.
So we will take a break. It's a 10-2 lead for the Demons here on SBS.
I just saw super low interest rates on Facebook. Maybe I can refinance my butter hot tub.
Yes on the butter, no on the link, Karen. Social media scams rob Americans every year.
2-1 the count, as that's a foul ball. 2-2 now. Well, partner, it's 16 to 18-year-old baseball. The more times you get on base, anything can happen. I'm not saying they're going to come back from an 8-run deficit, but the more walks that you get to and you run those counts up, anything can happen.
Absolutely, and it's what we talked about. You got a pitcher who's maybe feeling a little bit of fatigue at this point. He was sitting for over 20 minutes while his team was racking up some runs, and yeah, he's not had the same pop, and there's another ball missing inside, so he's not had the same pop since he got back into the game. So, no, you're right. It's they've got a lot of work ahead of them, but anything is possible at this point for the Hawks with runners on base right now.
Little nubber. Shoots the box. Dies on the grass again, over to first, and he's safe. Jerry, did they call him out?
Yeah, you know what, Kyle, they did. I'm looking at the base umpire. They did call him out. It was very, very close. If it's you and I doing an MLB game, we might be challenging that, but let me confirm. Yes, they did call him out at first base, so yeah, he is out at first. Really close play. So I believe that will go to 2 outs at this point.
You know, it's interesting how baseball got the myth. Tie goes to the runner. Umpires don't get paid anything extra to be friends towards base runners. You either beat it or you didn't.
That's a great point. I love that. Yes.
If in doubt, he is out.
That's one approach.
There is no tie to the runner. Now, if umpires get paid extra, they might like base runners more.
There you go.
They don't care too much about batters and base runners. They love pitchers because pitchers get you outs. And the only way you get to go home to your wife, girlfriend, whatever you need to do that night, you got to have quick outs.
I will say the throw over to first was coming at him like a rocket, so good velocity on the throw, and that's how they were able to get him by possibly a half a step, because if that ball's thrown any slower, that runner's safe. But nice throw with good velocity over to first base.
Foul ball.
So the Demons are keeping it right here, protecting that large lead that they have at this point.
Runners at second and third. Ball's going to die on the grass, and what the outfielders need to understand is you have to charge it hard. You're probably going to have to barehand it if you're going to try to get him at the plate. But you're up by 8 runs, so you might just hit your cutoff man. Outside for a ball, make it 2-2.
Yeah, and they are playing it at fairly shallow at this point. I'm noticing where the center fielder is. I like the fact that they're moving on each hitter. Any good ball team, regardless of level, their outfielders, their infielders will move on every batter. So there's a fastball for strike 3.
Go to the bottom of the 5th. The Demons are 2 runs away from finishing off the slaughter rule.
Hi guys, welcome to Crumble.
Welcome to Crumble.
Would you like to try our limited time carrot cake?
Totally.
Sure. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Wedding cakes have multiple tiers, right? And usually the raisins. Holla. Good job, Crumble. So this is only available through Saturday before Easter. Make sure you come in and get it while it's here.
(10-2) lead. It was 3-2, but it is now 10-2, and that's what happens, Jerry, when you walk batters and you make some errors on defense.
Absolutely. Those errors and the walks, they start to add up, and as a result, the runs start to add up. So, absolutely correct. So, Kyle, you're a big movie fan. You're a big baseball fan. What's your favorite baseball movie?
Probably The Natural.
Okay. Yeah, great one.
It's a pure baseball movie with great morals. I've never read the book. I went on Spark Notes because, I mean, let's be frank, I'm an American, and that's what Americans do. But I was sad to hear that in the book he strikes out.
Oh, no kidding. I did not know that.
Yeah, and I'm like, that ending sucks.
Oh, what a difference, yeah.
And what stinks about it is Mythbusters, the show went out of business. I mean, they had their series finale. Before I could ask them the question, because they would always allow fans of the show to send them questions. Can this be done in real life or not? And I wanted to ask them the question, could what happened to Roy Hobbs, where he hits the light tower and then it creates a chain reaction? By the way, spoiler alert, this is what happens at the end of the movie. But like all the lights go out when he hits the walk-off homer, and then they fall onto the baseball diamond?
Yes, yes.
Could that happen in an old-style 1930s baseball stadium? And, of course, Mythbusters, the show ended before they could answer my question.
Oh, it's a great question, though. It's a great question.
They answered my Titanic question, though, which I was happy about.
And what was that?
That Jack and Rose could both be on that door.
Both be on the what?
They could both be on the door.
Okay.
But for it to work, they would have had to have full brain capacity to think it through. Like once they're in the water, you have hypothermia. Your brain's not fully intact.
You've put a lot of time into this.
Jerry, when you're not married, you have too much time on your hands to watch TV.
Well, that is great stuff and great insight. I tell you what, I've never heard some of that before, so that's well done.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, the rerun of the Titanic episode. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah, that one and The Natural. Yeah, both great ones. My brother loves The Natural. That's one of his favorite movies as well.
I mean, Moneyball's great. I like Field of Dreams, but I think that the Field of Dreams game is kind of ruining the movie. It's like making the movie more nostalgic than it really is. Like how they have the Field of Dreams game every year for MLB.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. That's actually one of the things I would like to. I've never been. Have you been to the Field of Dreams?
Yeah, I've been there.
So I've not been. I'd like to go, and I would love to go see a game there. I know last year they took it off because they've been rebuilding the stadium and things like that. But I'm going to check dates on this year and maybe make that happen. That's something I would love to do.
Hi, pop up. Left side.
Oh, we lost it. He lost it. It's going to be it's a foul ball. So the left fielder went after it and misjudged it, but fortunate for him, it ended up being a foul ball. He ran in, it went over his head, but again, fortunate for him, it ended up being foul. So unfortunate for the pitchers, that should have been an out, but it does happen, and the inning moves on.
1-1 the count. Swung on a miss for strike two.
Demons looking to add on here a little bit. Got a commanding lead, looking to add on to that. And like you said earlier, we could see a complete game from their pitcher who's been really strong, having a great game, pitching very well.
It's a pop fly, fouled away. If he hits a home run, the game is over, and the Demons win by mercy rule.
Yeah, that's a good rule to put games to put things in perspective for sometimes when games get out of balance, and 10 runs after 5 would end this game. As long as the one team the team down has an opportunity to bat 5 times. If they're unable to come within 10, then the game would end. And
right. There are times, though, even at the major league level. So how about this for a factoid? The Mariners tied the all-time, well, the all single season record of wins. They tied at 116 with the 1906 Cubs. But during that season, they were up 12-0 to the Cleveland Indians. And they lost that game on a walk-off hit, and I believe it was by Omar Vizquel. If they had won that game up by 12 runs, they would have beaten the single season record by the 1906 Cubs.
That's a great piece of history. I did not know that. That is amazing. It shows you, like we're talking about here, that anything can happen in baseball.
Anything can happen in baseball. Doesn't matter if it's Little League, Senior League, Pony, USSSA. That's a high pop-up. It's going to get to the outfield.
And it fell in. It's going to be, it's all the way to the wall.
And that's going to be a gapper.
And he's going to come in safely to second base. So, yeah, nice shot out to left field. Falls between the left fielder and the center fielder, goes all the way to the wall, and he's in with a stand-up double, so the Demons do, in fact, add on.
So 11-2 the score. As another base hit would put this one away. Don't go anywhere. The post-game show brought to you by Pentillo and Crane Orthodontics. We'll follow this one. Just not enough strikes thrown by the Hawks to stay in this one.
No, unfortunately not. And some good hitting by the Demons. They're starting to read the ball well. Again, you're going through, third, fourth time through the lineup here. You're getting a better read on the pitcher, and you're starting to see the ball a little clearer than you may have seen it the first or 1 or 2 times up. And then they've hit some shots.
3-0.
I was looking up the actor of The Natural, Robert Redford. Again, one of the finest actors of of a past generation, but he was amazing in that movie. Put some really strong movies together.
That's ball 4.
Yeah, Hawks just don't seem to have enough today. A little bit tough with the pitching, a little bit tough on the defense. Weren't able to generate really any timely hitting, and good effort, but just a little bit outmanned today by the Demons.
Catcher looks dead tired. He's down to one knee, and he can't even get his hand behind his back.
That's a lot of ball. It's a lot of ball for one day. You're right, and so unfortunately, it is what it is, and we've got ourselves a 11-2 score.
We appreciate everybody watching. Hope you enjoyed all our camera angles today. We pre-record everything as well if there were any Wi-Fi issues. High missed.
You could even see in the velocity of the balls coming in now. What may have been upper 70s, early 80s on the at the outgo of this game is starting to diminish now too. So
anything to the outfield will end this game. Base hit will definitely end it.
With still nobody out, good probability of that happening. Bases loaded here for the Demons.
Just missed.
Yeah, it's a tough afternoon for them, Kyle. They look like they've had a tough day.
Full count. Fouled away. Staying alive. The inning that got away from the Hawks. A hit by a pitch. And there were at least 3 walks in that inning. So 4 times they got on base and it wasn't a hit.
Yeah, that's giving it away. It's like we talk about the number of mistakes and free passes. You got to limit those. And the Hawks played a good game with the exception of, like you said, 1 inning is really where all the damage was done. And it's a tough game physically, mentally, and you've got to stay mentally sharp, and you can't give runners free bases.
It's going to get to the outfield.
Oh, that's a great catch by the center fielder. Went and dove, made the catch. Everyone has to come back. The runner from third is now advancing home. He will score with the game-winning run, Kyle.
And that should be 12-2. Let's see if the players start lining up.
Yeah, let me confirm.
Yeah, the umpire says time or score.
It's good alert base running by the runner at third. The center fielder made a great catch to go in and dive and make the play. And then the runner from third alertly advanced, tagged on that. So, yeah, he did in fact score. Yeah, they're checking the score right now, so this should be it. You've been on top.
Yeah, some leagues are 12 runs and 13 runs. That'll do it. Demons score 9 unanswered runs. It went from 3-1 to 3-2 and then 12-2. So
wow, quite a landslide.
Just not the Hawks' day, but man, they had 5 walks in that 4th inning, and 5 walks and a hit by a pitch. That's just going to do you in.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't make those kind of mistakes. You can't give free passes away, and when you do, more often than not, they're going to come back and get you. And unfortunately for them, they came back and it got them in a big way today. So, because this was a really tight game through the first 3 to 4 innings, and then one bad inning, a lot of mental errors, and like you said, some walks, and unfortunately, it got out of hand.
So for our excellent crew, for Jerry Baldwin and Andrew Deirdrich, Dylan Root, April Tolliver, and everybody else that worked for us today, Sean Mitchell, Lauren Vandiver, I'm Kyle Smith. That does it for our play-by-play broadcast. Post-game show brought to you by American Community Bank, coming up next.
All of us at Pentilla Crane Orthodontics know the importance and the impact that a smile can have on our patients, and we are committed to delivering that smile to them that's going to last for a lifetime.
So what sets PNC apart from every other practice is the focus on the patient.
I think it's the people that sets Pentilla Crane Orthodontics apart. We have beautiful facilities, we utilize the best technology, but at the end of the day, it's the relationships that we can build with our patients.
My experience has been great. My son had come here first, and we had such a good experience that I brought my daughter back.
One unique thing about orthodontic treatment is it's over a long period of time. The ability of our staff to be able to provide that positive experience, I think, really sets us apart. The reviews we get often talk about our staff members.
And then just to be there along your whole orthodontic journey, making every step along the way as comfortable as possible.
We're committed to delivering life-changing smiles to our patients, and are excited to see the benefits that those smiles can provide them.
I just saw super low interest rates on Facebook. Maybe I can refinance my butter hot tub.
Yes on the butter, no on the link, Karen. Social media scams rob Americans every year. You're giving away your money to a hacker in a hoodie.
That's a negative stereotype, and we don't appreciate it. I'd like to speak to their manager.
You're actually the manager of protecting your identity. Learn more at banksneveraskthat.com.
Okay. Gary, we need more baguettes.
We're known as Levin Tire, but we're so much more than just a tire dealer. At Levin Tire and Service Center, we do oil changes, brakes, alignments, engine and electrical work, and much more. And of course, we're the best choice for tires, with a wide variety from the industry's most trusted manufacturers. Plus, you'll get customer service like a small business with pricing better than a national chain. Visit one of our 6 locations today. We're more than just tires. Levin Tire and Service Center, since 1918, earning your trust one day at a time.
All of us at Pentilla Crane Orthodontics know the importance and the impact that a smile can have on our patients, and we are committed to delivering that smile to them that's going to last for a lifetime.
So what sets PNC apart from every other practice is the focus on the patient.
I think it's the people that sets Pentilla Crane Orthodontics apart. We have beautiful facilities, we utilize the best technology, but at the end of the day, it's the relationships that we can build with our patients.
My experience has been great. My son had come here first, and we had such a good experience that I brought my daughter back.
One unique thing about orthodontic treatment is it's over a long period of time. The ability of our staff to be able to provide that positive experience, I think, really sets us apart. The reviews we get often talk about our staff members.
And then just to be there along your whole orthodontic journey, making every step along the way as comfortable as possible.
We're committed to delivering life-changing smiles to our patients and are excited to see the benefits that those smiles can provide them.